Narrated Anas, may Allah be pleased with him, Allah's messenger, peace be upon him, said, "From among the portents of the hour are the following." That's the Arabic text right there. "Religious knowledge will be taken away by the death of religious learned men. Religious ignorance will prevail. Drinking of alcoholic drinks will be very common. There will be prevalence of open illegal sexual intercourse." Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hope you're doing well. So, this hadith that was narrated by Ibn Abbas from the Prophet, peace be upon him, is really educational for us because it helps us to realize the importance of religious knowledge. And once you lose a lot of religious learned people, things become blurry. You don't really know who to ask for guidance, and it's easier to go astray and not really have anyone to turn to. I think people who never had a mother figure or a father figure can resonate with the anxiety that comes from not having someone wise to ask. I'm not saying every mom and dad is wise, but if you have a good mom and dad, you kind of have that comfort of, hey, I can ask my mom or my dad, or at least having one good friend who you can turn to. And we do have Sheikh Hasim Al-Hakim doing his live shows where people can call in. The Green Lantern, people got what they can in order to make sure that they are doing okay in the religion and can excel. But for it to be a sign of the hour that there'll be fewer and fewer scholars, that's troubling, especially when we look around now at what kind of content creators are the most popular amongst Muslims. 2, religious ignorance will prevail, so innovation is a scary thing because that can ruin our nearness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you're committing shirk, you're not really going to taste the sweetness of faith because you're not able to connect with your maker. The pureness of Tawheed is quite beautiful. And then 3, drinking of alcoholic drinks will be very common. Just look at America. It is strange how you can go on apps and you'll just see ads for alcohol. And then you'll see a lot of people mock sobriety. If you recall, I did a video called on my main channel, "This is America." And one of the Christian influencers was like, "This is America, we drink beer." And if you notice that German Christians in Italy, France, Spain, Mexico, they do drink a lot of alcohol. It's really difficult for them to stay sober. And if you go further in your examination of their behavior when they're drunk, you'll realize alcohol is a really evil substance. And I think moms, they start to really see how evil alcohol is once they have children. When you're pregnant and your husband's drunk, it can really fill you with anxiety. Because is he going to go to work? Is he going to beat you? Is he going to get into an accident? And a lot of people, I can handle my alcohol. But they get an argument that sets them off or bad news. It's just not safe. And people time and time again will start off, 1 drink, then 2, and then it's cocktails, and then it's shots of whiskey, tequila, and look how much money they're spending. They get a beer gut. Some men who drink a lot of alcohol get boobs, those what we call bitch tits. It's not great for them. It's useless carbs as well. And think about how valuable your brain cells are and how alcohol kills that. And if you've ever seen an old alcoholic, their nose is really red, they stink, their eyes are bloodshot, and the annoying nature of people who are drunk is also terrible. So you're a tourist, let's say, you get some drunk person coming and sticking their hand out in front of you, and it's just terrible. So the prevalence of alcohol, to me, is very dystopian because I've seen far too many people die of alcohol. And those who haven't seen that, they often make excuses for it. It's also quite shocking just how many people drive drunk. And I think I've shared this story before, but I recall my friend, she was like, come hang out with me. And this was like in high school. And the car that pulled up that was supposed to go take us to hang out, the driver was super wasted. The way they slammed on the brakes, everyone in the car was drunk. And I was like, I don't think this is safe. And she was like, come on, stop just ruining the vibe. And I'm like, no, man, we can't go in there. I'm not getting in there. And I could see, like, this is dangerous. Like, they were driving and swerving. And she's so desperate to kind of go hang out and be what you call free, that she was willing to gamble with her life. She later developed extreme alcoholism. I haven't kept in touch with her for years. I still have a friend that's a mutual, but I haven't inquired about her condition. But when her dad died, she really did become, like, intense into alcohol. It is quite sad. It's interesting how many people, when one of their parents dies, they turn to alcohol to cope. There's something to that. And if you think about the lack of religious knowledge and the lack of just knowledge about patience, because Islamic patience is so important, makes you real stoic. If you know a lot about the religion, you can cope with death and trauma more. So I think 1 and 2 and 3 are really deeply connected. Because without knowledge, it's harder to cope with the trials that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us. I know that I've had moments where I wondered, wow, this is so intense, how will I get through this? And then suddenly a sheikh will produce a video and it's very motivational, and you're like, yeah, this is good. This is just what I needed. And that's why I really wish more people would do dawah videos, because we need it. The ummah needs it. And we need knowledgeable people. And my favorite channel is Scarly Subtitles channel. And people who take the time to translate those videos with English, like it's in Arabic, but the subtitles are in English, that's such a good deed. Because they're helping countless people, and that's wonderful. So, if you're drinking a lot, I would argue that if you just studied the religion more, I think you'd get the courage to put down the bottle and put down the beer can. No more glasses of wine, but it's difficult because of how much, at least in America, alcohol is pushed on you to cope with your reality. I think it's like a social band-aid, where instead of fixing the culture, just let people get wasted. It's quite strange. And then frame it as posh and sophisticated, when in reality you look like a buffoon and you piss yourself and you vomit and you just look sloppy. For number 4, there will be a prevalence of open illegal sexual intercourse or degeneracy. I mean, America's got a lot of that. It is super extreme in America. It's really sad how so many young girls are really, since the 90s, heavily encouraged to not wait till their wedding day, to give it up real easy. And it's scarier when the men enable this, because when you have your own children and you want the best for them, that's when suddenly you wake up and realize, like, this is not sustainable as a society, and how do you change that? That's one thing that Western civilization got wrong, I'd argue, is that you can't push lewdness in movies and in music and then expect people not to get divorced With the easy access to illegal relations, men and women will slip up. They'll fall to temptation. There's no more cultural shame around it. And then diseases spread. 1 in 5 Americans has an STD, and a lot of people have multiple STDs. And some people decided, well, let's just destigmatize STDs and it won't be a big deal. And it's like, that's wild. No. But a lot of people divorce because of adultery, or men being hooked to adult content, and women having apps that make it really easy for them to cheat. But if there was more emphasis on purity, according to the Islamic fashion, I think that'd be better for society. And the good mercy that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives men is that they can have more than one wife, and they have to treat those wives well, otherwise it's going to come on the day of judgment crooked, we know. But if there's some people who they have the ability to spread their goodness around, like a good man can have 4 good wives instead of one woman being left out, or having a subpar male just because all the good men have been taken if they're monogamous. And so, subhanAllah, the wisdom here that we're given to see the portents of the hour can make us wake up to appreciate the scholars we still have, to listen to what they have to say, for us to become learned as well, to stay sober, and no matter how bad the temptation, don't commit unlawful intimacy, because a lot of the blackmail operations require that. So if you just stay good, like Prophet Joseph, may Allah be pleased with him, did when a woman tried to tempt him, it's harder for you to be blackmailed or honeypotted. And that today is a superpower, right? Let me know what you think. Please like, comment, subscribe, share. Enjoy on the blog.